Guys, Monday, actually not a bad Monday. You have a few mixed beverages right away in the morning and boom, man, I tell you, the workday just flies. Power tools, those are at your own discretion. What are we looking at today? Well, we're looking at Old German Premium Lager Beer. The world knows no finer. Pittsburgh Brewing. Oh, how could it not be the world's... It's union made. And you guys know me. I'm big on unions. My union has been right behind me the whole way. Just like Heffy and Travis at a truck stop. Top of the can looks something like a top of a can. This was sent by a New York half-ass prepper, and if it completely sucks ass, we're going to take a look at Stroh's. So my psychic prediction at this moment in time is we'll be looking at Stroh's. Alrighty. Another day in the life of fun. Another... It's got carbonation. Kind of looks like ginger ale. Your typical beer look. The head, fairly aggressive pour, was there, and then it wasn't. Okay, it has a little bit of a edginess, a little bit of a, like it sat in a can for 50 years kind of a smell. Right off the bat, not a good thing. Cheers. Thankfully, it doesn't taste. There's no hint of that, what you're smelling in the taste. So it's kind of a clothespin kind of a beer. Not a lot of, pretty much not a lot of anything. Not a lot of sweetness, not a lot of flavor. I'd say any of the big domestics, the Bud, Milwaukee, the Bush Girl. I know Ray's probably pissed. We haven't seen enough of the Bush Girl lately. You can never see enough Bush. It's actually very, very, very light alcohol. I'd pin her in the low 4s, maybe. It's not gonna be much over 4. I mean, if it's you and your buddies are out during the the end of days and you're looting places, and this is the only thing that's there, I'd grab it over not having any beer at all. But if you're really into craft beers, you're gonna be extremely disappointed because I've had light beers, like for instance Coors Light, heck of a lot more flavor. So I don't know what this sells for a 6-pack, but pretty much if anything else is the same price or cheaper, you want to go that route. On the E scale, I drank it. It wasn't miserable. I'd probably shoot it a 2.5. I guess, why do I say probably? Because I just did. 2.5. Yeah. Okay, that gets us on to the one we've all been looking for. Stroh's. America's premium brewed beer. Traditional brewing heritage since 1775. Constantly superior in quality for more than 200 years. 200 years of brewing history entrapped in this can. And I don't even know if it's even fair that I release it. I should just let it age, you know. Traditionally brewed with the finest hops, pure water, and barley malt. They are out of Milwaukee, from Pittsburgh to Milwaukee, and the has a gold accented top of the can, so it potentially is a step up from the old German. I can hear New York half-ass prepper right now. You gotta take the bad with the good, son. Okay, right off the bat, this has more color to it. A little, deeper amber. Getting more head. Nothing wrong with that. Right, NYHap? I really hope your plan works. I'm just saying. Actually, it doesn't smell bad. I mean, it smells better than the old German. I'll give it that much. Oh, and I also would like to say thank you to Heffy67 for being along for the ride. A couple people pointed out, well, I know one in particular, pointed out that it was amazing that I had two asses on, on in the background. Alright. Well, I've had a few people bring it to my attention that when I have guest hosts, that if that's what they wanted, they would have just gone to that person's channel to watch the brew review. So, I mean, I just thought, in this particular case, every now and then it'd be nice to, have someone else sit in, like the floating Heffy head. Cheers, guys. Now, before I reacquaint myself, I would like to point out that it's been probably at least 20 years since I've had this. So okay. When you're out on the other side of the fence for a while, diddling the neighbor's dog, and you come back, you kind of, you forget what your dog was like. I don't know, I was, ignore all that. The first thing you kind of notice is a subtle corn sweetness, and I want to say corn because the middle and the finish is almost like a popcorn like flavor. It's I don't know, shit, I guess I'll bring it to the movies next time I go. I've been asked by several people if I'm gonna go see American Sniper, and as much as I have followed, kind of the story. Actually, I didn't really know much about him until after he was murdered, which is, considering what the man had gone through, only to come home and be killed by a whack job. I guess I'm not a big movie goer. I mean, there's a reason that I, got a big ass TV and an entertainment system so that, if I wanted to spend $100 on popcorn, I would just do that. I know some people, just like the experience or call it date night. I mean, that's probably the closest, except for we never usually align when it comes to the movies that we should go to. If Samantha and Christine pick the movies, it's like tweet tweet tweet, that kind of shit, and it was just like I don't really find that stuff. I don't really find those kind of movies entertaining. I'm more into the sci-fi, the action. You know, now and then I might take in a chick flick, for instance. That kind of thing. I like to stay in touch with my hefty side. Okay. So it starts off smooth. You get a kind of like a mild corn sweetness. And then, seriously, I don't know why. I don't even I remember it being more harsh, more, I don't know. Not I hate to use the words good and Stroh's in the same conversation, but if this was, I almost need to just, maybe not the drunken brew review, but maybe it'll start off and it'll end the drunken brew review, is to just get a bunch of the more popular domestics. Grab some Stroh's, some Coors, some Busch, some Budweiser, Pabst, all those. And like NYHap is quick to point out, it is possible to roll through a whole bunch of them. You don't necessarily always have to drink all of them. It could just be like a sampling or a flavoring or my thoughts by putting them all together, because after 20 years of not having this, it's I have to admit, it's not as bad. I mean, it's definitely not harsh. It's I mean, I could see, Super Bowl Sunday, having a bunch of people over and having a case of this, and is it Bengali or anything from Lagunitas or Bell's? No, but you're probably gonna get 24 of these versus, well, or one of some beers. So sometimes you just have to roll the numbers and realize that maybe this isn't that bad. I don't want the alcohol percentages on this either. I'm also gonna go in the low 4s. So you could grab a couple of 10%ers and be well on your way a lot sooner. This is just going to require more trips to the bathroom before you fall down. And the thing is, if I actually did a domestic brew review, it would be kind of like that particular moment in time. They would be rated on, domestics, or pilsners, or that kind of thing, as opposed to throwing them in the E scale, because like I've pointed out before, some of these aren't terrible. So to give it a rating, which I'm going to E scale this as a 3.5. Now if you just, instead of putting it in the mix with all craft beers and throwing it up against stuff like, stuff from Clown Shoes like Vampire Slayer, or, the one right now, if I won the lottery, I'd just go figure out a way to buy a big ass box, a couple of couple of like cases of it. So everybody that's going to be here for the shoot that actually has a quality gene for beer, which Jerry, the leprechaun, would be ruled out. His idea of stepping out over the line and going crazy is Blue Moon, and I personally can't stand that beer. He left like 6 or 12 of them, and it took a long time. I actually gave most of them away. Every time my next door neighbor called and said, "Hey, you got one of those beers that don't suck too badly that I can borrow?" "Yeah, I got a Blue Moon for you." So, yeah, maybe if I, just went out and, problem is I don't think I can go anywhere and get like one of these and one bud and one. I'm gonna end up with like a whole bunch of beer, but I can put it aside. It'll all get drank at the shoot. So yeah, that's where that stands. What should we look at tomorrow? Kind of wanting to know about this one from NYHap. This is their number 9. I think we had put this on the roster to be looked at before, and something happened, and it just never happened. 5.1%. This is a pale ale. Where's Waldo? Okay, look at that tomorrow. If there is a tomorrow. Meanwhile, I gotta have a little something to go up and edit this, and actually it's gotta wash out the glass a little here. Yeah, just keep it in the refrigerator. That way it saves on ice cubes. Politically? Nah, I got nothing. I got nothing new politically. Nah, I got nothing new politically. Just because I'm seeing it. Had a few lately. I don't know how people find older videos. I did end up pulling the. Well, I actually never pulled it. I just set it as private. But I've had quite a few comments lately of guys on the Argon update, and it's just I just threw some shit on here. It's got a pistol buffer tube, and I know there's a company that makes a grip that incorporates so you can do away with the that. Of course, I still say if you personally are going to be building multiple, of course, this was a completely different circumstance. I don't care what anyone says. When you, the best was when I sent Howard over at the bunker some high definition images of this, and he's just like, you can plainly see the discoloration along the crack. So obviously there was a crack there, and when it was treated, it sank and went in there. But I don't know. I hate to have this thing just sitting around. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this thing. Anybody have a suggestion? Sticking it up my ass is not an option. But a smart thing to always have on hand, you guys that do a lot of shit, it could be well worth your money in just one build. But Dale, the owner of Little Crow Gunworks right here in Minnesota. And he's got the pin pusher, and this is actually for installing or removing the pin that holds the trigger guard in place. And they're very inexpensive in comparison to screwing up your lure. So I don't know why I just saw that piece of shit sitting there. I don't know. Talk to me, Goose. What's your thoughts? Alright, well, I also want to say, hope you guys are having fun. A cheers going out to John and Gary from Huber Concepts. I was actually supposed to be with them out at SHOT Show, but due to all the medical things, I had to decline the offer. And with the pictures that Gary's putting up and talking to the two of them, and the fact that it was pretty much a 5-star ride, I'm kind of regretting my decision right now. But you know, there's always next year. Personally, if I was in Vegas, which would be for the first time, I don't know if I could handle just walking around in a convention center. Maybe. It is guns. And it is Vegas though, so you got women and you got guns. Okay, well, it's my turn to cook. I'm making steaks tonight. By the time you see this, her video will be up for the bacon, the beer marinated bacon wrapped scallops that she made for me last night. And I had a bunch of them last night, and then I took a bunch of them to work. Had 4 of them at work today. And the funniest damn part is she is so, I mean, her father pretty much stabbed it, shot it, caught it, hooked it, did whatever when they were children, and she's just like, I am all used up on that kind of shit. So it's like the shit that I cut out was like, ew. That was funny, but I do want to thank her for making those. They turned out really well. Scallops are actually a fairly easy thing to make. I'm gonna make some myself. But okay, guys, we'll look at number 9 from NYHap tomorrow. And again, a thank you to oh, I never put a link for John.
Are you done?
I apologize. No.
Sorry.
Sorry, I blew up right there. I want to say I forgot to put a link for John Solar 283 for the help that he gave me on getting the generator running. I'll try to remember to put a link below if you're not subscribed to John Solar. I highly recommend it. Otherwise, again, thank you for Heffy for coming along for the ride yesterday, and we will see you tomorrow.
This is B&E. Good night.